And now may I invite the President of the Singapore Planned Parenthood Association, Dr. Annamalay, to address us. Let me give you his full name. Yeah. Sometimes when you sleep at 4 a.m., you lose your memory a bit. Dr. Sundardas Annamalay.
Thank you, Edward. Our guest of honor, Mr. Lim Siong Wan, distinguished panel of speakers, ladies and gentlemen and friends. This year, the Singapore Planned Parenthood Association has provided 65 years of service in Singapore. It was originally founded in 1949 as the Family Planning Association of Singapore by Mrs. Constance Goh Kok Kee, a very compassionate lady of faith, then concerned with the absence of maternity and child care. She saw young mothers die at childbirth and babies lost because of public education on family planning, health and maternity care. For your information, this still carries on in the rest of Asia. We are just fortunate that in Singapore, we have moved on. Almost all deliveries were done by midwives who were not necessarily licensed. From starting the first family planning clinic in a section of Mrs. Goh's husband's dispensary, the Family Planning Association of Singapore was operating some 30 clinics around the island by 1966, including a male clinic opened in 1963. The high birth rate in Singapore continued to be a major problem. Unlike now, it was reported that the then Kandang Kerbau Hospital was producing a baby every 11 minutes. One of the fastest in the world, almost like a McDonald's franchise. By this time, the association had persuaded the government to take over the task of family planning, which had become too onerous at a national level. With independence, the Singapore Family Planning and Population Board, SPPA, was established and an official population policy was adopted. In the 1970s, the association began family life education programs and also introduced marriage preparation courses. BGR and parenting talks were introduced into the schools. In 1979, the first manual on family life education for schools was produced in cooperation with the Ministry of Education. In keeping with this change of focus, the association was renamed the Singapore Planned Parenthood Association in 1986. Fertility rates had fallen from a peak of 6.56 in 1957 to 4.62 in 1965. With vigorous campaigns and various measures, the birth rate of Singapore was successfully and drastically brought down with several incentives and disincentives related to schooling, housing, hospitalization, and tax reliefs. So successful, sometimes you don't want to be very successful, but so successful were these measures that even with a reversal pro-natalist policy to support childbearing from 1980s, our fertility rate did not rise from its low values, remaining below 1.3 from 203 to 208. According to a study by Dr. Koh Eng Chuan on Singapore's demographic development, generally almost all urban and developed societies retain a low fertility rate with or without an anti-natalist policy. Demographic behavior indicates the formation of individuals influencing one another, and society shifts towards individualism and self-fulfillment as higher order needs. Me first. The rest of you, we worry about you later on. With lifestyle changes, employment opportunities, fast-growing economy and social development, individuals may choose singlehood, marry later and have fewer children. This state will be unlikely to change unless there are some fundamental and large-scale changes arising from a rapidly aging population. Long periods of low fertility, growing economy, and demand for a greater labor force, the need for migrants increased. So we begin to experience the growth of population in Singapore, shifting rapidly from a natural increase to a migratory influx, bringing with them their cultures and their belief systems. Do they influence or impact the main populace, or do they adjust to our society? Will we lose our values, and will many of our traditional practices become watered down and lost? The earlier migration had led to a high-density living, overcrowding problem of coping with increasing demand for infrastructure, facilities, and transportation patterns, among others. Naturally, there are many pressures on individuals and families. Together with these demands, various social challenges and issues have emerged. Our social fabric may be threatened. SPPA has as its strategic objectives in the 5 A's: adolescence, AIDS and HIV, access, abortion, and advocacy. There has been some concern that by advocacy we mean a strident, let's fight with the government and what have you. So I'm going to give you the dictionary definition of advocacy: active support, especially of a cause. So this is from the Collins English Dictionary, complete and unabridged. As times change, the issues that SPPA has chosen to support and advocate have been topical and related to Singapore. We do not advocate abortion. We advocate access to information and conscious choice-making on the part of citizens. We're talking about choice and the capacity to make choices. We advocate education and support to reduce socio-economic, psychological, cultural, religious, political, and legal barriers to accessing sexual and reproductive health information, education, and services. We're talking about giving people choices and allowing them to make informed choices. Our society is changing rapidly. The climate that children grow up in today is vastly different from the past. Families used to be prioritized as the basic unit of society. Today we have a reduced interest among the young in marriage and childbearing. Not surprising, the nation's fertility rate has gone down far below replacement levels. On top of this, our society has to deal with the dichotomy of having abortion on demand, but not having sufficient access to information and education about sexuality to help young people make better decisions. Over the years, our social service sector has worked hard to provide services that minister to these issues. I sat in with these groups. Different local agencies work differently at different levels to help affected young people navigate the complex pathways to access the services that they need. The pathways are so complex that although we have all the services required, the young people drop out. Many of them tend to miss out, or they drop out in the process of moving from one station to the other. It's harder than moving into our current MRT stations right now. I still get lost sometimes. It gets worse still when issues like unwanted pregnancies afflict the disadvantaged groups, including the foreign workers and marginalized groups like the lower income groups and those with disability. It seems timely that the Singapore Planned Parenthood Association is holding today's symposium on the theme towards a value-centered society, bringing people of Singapore together to discuss and determine what Singapore wants to retain, discard, and promote, the practice of traditional values brought by our pioneer generation and passed on as they adjust to living conditions here. One of the foremost actions is for us to bring back the practice of honoring our pioneers, our parents, our elders, one another, even those who serve us. Another could be visiting our elders during festival seasons, major events like birthdays, instead of packing off to a holiday overseas. I always tell a young woman who's courting a young man, one of the good measures of working out whether he's a good husband is go out for a meal with him and watch how he treats the waiter, the waitresses, and the little dog and cat around the table. If he kicks them, who do you think is going to kick next? Developing a right attitude towards wealth and health is also important. Similarly, the right values and ethics need to be practiced by business people, professionals, and in the civil service. Do we need to continue having an immigration policy to achieve the population numbers? Can we encourage and provide the environment by which our children can get married and marry earlier, see the joy and benefits of having children with a support system? How can we nurture attitudes and values in the home, in our educational system, in various work, life, and even at play? It is SPPA's hope that today's symposium towards a value-centered society will address some of these issues that aren't being openly discussed enough to effect any real changes to the individuals concerned. The hope of the symposium is to create a national conversation. This is how we advocate things. We have national conversations when the issue of some of these groups could be addressed, and to bring these issues up in a more significant way so that appropriate government and other agencies can work together in a cohesive fashion. The good book says, "What profits a man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul?" As Singapore comes to be among the first of the emerging first world nations in Asia, it faces the challenge of redefining its identity, the soul of the nation, if you could call it that. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Melvin Wong, has something interesting to add to this. This symposium will also celebrate the 20th anniversary of the International Year of the Family. In line with the goals of IYF, we will take stock of recent trends in family policy development, share good practices in family policy making, and review the challenges faced by the modern Singaporean family. With the symposium, SPPA hopes to form synergies with partner agencies to perpetuate an ongoing conversation and look to a future where every family is healthy, happy, and harmonious, which will then add to a healthy, happy, harmonious nation. I would like to thank Mr. Edward Ong, Vice President of SPPA and Chairman of the Organizing Committee for the Symposium, and his team and the Board of Directors for working very hard to put this event together. As he said in his own words, it was up to 4 a.m. and this is the man's dedication. It's really, really impressive. We thank you all for your participation and contribution in one way or another and look forward to a very fruitful day. Thank you very much.